Come and put your name on it. Put your name on it. Come and put your name on it. Your name that you wanna put your name on it.
Bonjour, tout le monde. Good morning, everybody. So I'm here today, another day in Paris. It's actually very chilly today. I think the high is like 75 or something like that. So I'm wearing a sweater. I have to go pick up my Navigo pass, which is the pass that is kind of like your transit pass. I want to be able to fill it up monthly as well as weekly. Well, not really weekly, but anyway, I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out which pass to get. Finally, I figured out which pass to get, and there are only certain train stations that you can go to get it. I went to 4 different train stations. 2 were the right stations. 2 of them told me their credit card machine was broken, and then I guess the guy whose job it was to do it got sick. I don't know. All I know is that I didn't get a pass. I ended up ordering it online. I'll link the website below if you need one, and you pick it up once it's processed. So I'm going to try and go pick it up. They do have lunch from 12 to 12:30, so I'm probably going to get there right at lunch, or yeah. So if that happens, I actually will go up. I have to go to a different store, return some stuff, and then try to come back around to get my pass. I am getting this pass today because I am tired of running around for it. So let's go. Made it home in one piece, I might add. All right, so it was a mildly successful trip today because I went to the train station again. On the website, it said I could pick up my card there. In the train station, there were 2 different booths, and I kept getting sent back and forth. I went up to the first one, found it. They were like, oh, this guy in line asked him for help. He's like, oh, you have to go downstairs, down 1 level. Okay, so that was already the first mistake. Because 1 level, it was like you went down a half level, literally like the smallest escalator ever. And there were like 6 stores. There was like Sephora and everything. And I'm like, okay, there was nothing else. Then it was like you go down another half level and there's a metro, like the metro entrance, but there was nothing else. So I'm like, okay, that would be equivalent to 1 level. I think 2 halves make a whole. I don't know, that's just me. But then I was like, I went down a 3rd level, and all the while I'm asking people every single level that I'm on who work there, where do I need to be? And they kept saying, go down, go down. So I go down and there's nothing but metro stations except for that one ticket counter. And so like I'm at that ticket counter and the first guy is like, he don't really speak English, which I understand. So the email I have is all in French telling me to pick up my card. And he's like, oh no, you have to go upstairs. And I'm like, okay, well there's nowhere else to be upstairs. So I'm like, okay, I go back upstairs, and the same guy, like I waited in line. I was like, I don't really care. I'm not gonna ask this guy in line again. I'm just gonna go for the person who's inside, because you have to like wait in a line to go inside. All I know is that he comes up to me and he's like, oh, why are you back? And I'm like, because I went downstairs and they said they couldn't take they couldn't do what you told me to get done. I'm not sure who didn't want to do their job or what was happening. So I'm just going to go on Monday at a different place that's not a train station. They have like different booths, and ask someone maybe if it's not as busy, because I know that that's where I'm supposed to be. I don't know why they don't want to, like, they have to print your card. You can't get it from the machine. Like, this would be so much easier if the machine where you buy the tickets could just literally print you a card. It'd be 100, or if there was just like a freestanding machine that printed you a card, like 1,000,000 times easier. Because I ordered my card online, all I need them to do is print it, and then I have to go to a machine and load it. But I did go food shopping, so let's see what we got. I paid 29 euros, which equaled out about $35 for a bag of frozen carrots, 6 eggs, a baguette, tomato sauce, 2 pre-cooked chicken breasts. This is one of the most expensive things. It was like $5, but no. Yeah, it was $5. Tortellini, a bottle of wine. It's like the cheapest thing. Macarons, toilet paper, and a 4-pack of water here. I'm going to contrast everything to living in New York City. So New York is a little bit higher of price than it would be if you lived in other parts of the country, except for California. That's something else. But if you live in most of the U.S., this is kind of going to apply to idea of compare and contrast. All right, stick with me. All right. First things first, shopping in Paris. The number one thing I noticed about Paris is the city has been built to reduce waste. There are many different types of trash receptacles for recycling, for glass, for cardboard, for paper, for clothing. There are actually clothing bins just on the sides of the street you can stuff clothing in. There are a lot of measures that have been taken to reduce plastics. You must buy all your bags if you have to buy a bag in the store, or you use reusable bags. So I actually mailed myself reusable bags. They're not here yet. I don't think the post delivers on Saturday. That's another video for another time. We'll get to that in a second. But shopping in Paris. Food shopping, I went to 3 different supermarkets since I've been here. It's only been a week. The wine aisles in Paris are so ridiculously long. It doesn't make any sense. I think I paid, how much for this this bottle of wine? I paid $4.45 in euros for this. So it's about $6 for this bottle of wine, which is actually a more expensive bottle of wine. Honestly, I have been buying bottles of wine just because of how cheap they are. They have reusable wine bottle things, almost like how you do water dispenser. You bring a bottle, fill up your water, and like go. They have that for wine. But everything about the city, like I said, is built for reducing waste, which means it drives up the price of certain things while other things are actually still affordable. Toilet paper here. Don't ask me why it's pink, other than the fact that I have purple already in my bathroom right now, but it does have flushable tubes. I think the color has something to do with what is used to make it. I'm not 100% sure, because it does say it has 0% colorant and 0% perfume. So I'm not sure what it is, but it is made in Paris or in France. Kitchens are small in Paris, especially if they are not Americanized kitchens or American kitchens. You'll see when you're looking for your suite or your flat, it'll tell you if it's an American or a French style kitchen. French style kitchens usually have a stovetop, 2 burners, no oven, and a small half refrigerator, and only a few cabinets, like 1 or 2 cabinets for storage of food, which means you can't really buy a lot of food because you have nowhere to put it. I do notice that French people go out shopping a lot more, which means they cook fresher, they buy less, they consume less, there's less waste, which is cool, but I'm somebody who likes to buy for the month, maybe buy for 2-3 weeks, then have everything kind of like planned out. I do feel like I spent close to, I spent $35, 29 euros, it's like a 3% difference. Spent 29 euros this trip. I think the last trip I spent about 30 euros, and then the trip before that I popped in there, I think I spent like 12 or 15 euros. So I'm getting up to that $100 mark, which when I lived at home, because it was just me in New York, I could spend anywhere from 100 to 150 a month on food. I shop really well, so I know that I spend a lot less on food than most people. But I would also buy really fresh. So fresh fruits and vegetables, if you lived in an area where they were sourced locally, were super cheap. Here I find that fresh fruits and vegetables are a little bit higher. You do have to spend a little bit more. Eggs. They only sell eggs. They only sell eggs in the 6 dozen carton. They do not sell them in the full dozen. As I'm looking at this now, I actually cracked an egg, so I guess I'm gonna have to eat that tomorrow when I drop the bag, because I checked these before I left. They also keep the eggs out, not in the refrigerator. So if I crack that open and there's a baby chicken in it, I'm never eating another egg. But those 6 eggs cost $1.90 in euros, which is about $3 in American money. That's expensive for 6 eggs, especially when in the US you can get 12 eggs for anywhere from $1 to $2 or $3 for 12. baguettes, breads, many different things are very, very, very cheap, whereas other things are more expensive. Like I said, fresh fruits and vegetables, meat is a lot more expensive here than it is in the States, and frozen vegetables, surprisingly, it's more expensive. Pastas are very cheap, pasta sauces, anything that kind of think like French cuisine is very cheap. Anything else is a little bit more expensive. I don't think it's unbearably expensive. Again, I am now on a student budget, so I'm trying to make sure that I cut my cost of spending down a lot. So I don't want to say that it's unbearable. I do feel like though it is a bit pricey depending on how much you eat. I was looking for information, couldn't find any. Don't know what's going on, but I couldn't find any information on this. So I'm here to drop all of the knowledge for you, just in case you are thinking about moving to Paris, or even if you're moving abroad somewhere else, this kind of research you need to do. So until next time, guys, peace.